Hello, and thanks for joining us on Encore. Coming up on today's music show. Queen Bee sweeps the board. Beyonce takes a record amount of prizes at this year's Video Music Awards. Paris rocks out as Iggy Pop, Massive Attack and The Last Shadow Puppets take to the stage at Rock on Seine. And we're joined in the studio by Puppa Lek Sen, the Senegalese musicians bringing his brand of reggae to a worldwide audience. Well, I'm joined by our guest, Puppa Lek Sen. Hi, Puppa, thanks for joining us.
Hi.
And our music critic, Mark Thompson. Now, we're just starting with a bit of news from the industry. The Video Music Awards have just handed out their yearly gongs, as clips are becoming increasingly important in the music business. This is a big event. Mark, one lady stole the show, I believe.
Yeah, no big surprise. Beyonce just dominated the year pretty much since her album Lemonade came out. And she won 7 awards in total. She won every category she was nominated in. That's including Best Female, Best Pop Video, Best Long Form Video, as long as all the Best Director, Best Editing and everything else you'd expect that came along with that. It also means that she's now surpassed Madonna as the person with the most VMA awards. She's now got 21 in total. Let's have a look at her performing Formation.
Gracious, best revenge, your paper.
Puppa, Beyonce's been everywhere this year. It's been really hard to avoid her. Are you a fan?
No.
No!
How can you not
I'm
like
a
Beyonce?
Rasta man. I'm only listening reggae music or blues. Come from Africa or USA, but Beyonce music is not my thing, really.
It's too pop for you?
No, I'm not. I love pop music, but the image, this is not the thing that I want to support.
It's true that Beyonce has really created this image for herself, which is part of the whole phenomenon of Lemonade, Mark, don't you think?
Yes, this is the whole point of the video album, is that the image was as important as the music. And to a certain extent, that was even more creative, but I could see why certain people wouldn't buy into that whole persona.
Mm-hmm. Now, there was somebody else who dominated proceedings last year. That was Rihanna. Now, she got a prize, Lifetime Achievement, at the very young age of 28.
Yeah, 28. No one's given me an award and I'm 31. I feel like I've missed out. My time's gone past me. She performed no fewer than 4 times. At times, it did actually feel like it was a Rihanna concert with guest appearances from Beyonce to pick up her awards. We heard a whole range of songs throughout her career, from Don't Stop the Music, We Found Love, Bitch Better Have My Money, her latest songs as well, like Work. But it felt like it was a bit too early to be giving someone who's only 28 this Video Vanguard Award, which is the equivalent of the VMA's Lifetime Achievement Award. Let's have a listen to one of her medleys, though, from the VMAs.
And another female pop star who was there on the night, Britney Spears. She made a comeback after her comeback.
Yeah, this was her comeback of comebacks, because the last time she came out to play the VMAs, it was an unmitigated disaster by all accounts. This time it was a little bit better. She got a new album out, Glory, and she was supporting that, and she kept it together. The last time she kind of proved that she wasn't really ready for a big mainstream comeback. This time I think she is, but I don't know how much she has left to contribute necessarily to the wider pop scene.
Okay, well, next we're moving to live music closer to home here in Paris. The annual Rock on Seine festival. There were huge headliners this year: Iggy Pop, Massive Attack, The Last Shadow Puppets. Mark, you were there. How did you judge this 14th edition?
It is pretty much my. I've been there about half the amount of times that the festival's been going on, about 6 or 7 times myself. This wasn't my favourite lineup in the history of Rock on Seine. That said, there were some standouts. I think that Iggy Pop himself stole the show on the Sunday. Peaches as well was someone else to watch out for. But Edward Sharpe was probably my pick of the bunch. Let's have a look at what's happened.
Set me free from my jealousy. Won't you exercise my mind? Won't you exercise?
It's one of the hottest weekends of the year, and tens of thousands of music lovers have come here to the southwest of Paris to enjoy one of France's biggest music events. And they're not the only ones making the most of the good weather. Some of the bands are taking advantage too. Local duo Papoose have created a fan especially for the event.
It's guerrilla marketing, street advertising. We can't wait to play in front of the Parisian audience, especially when it's weather like this. We're so lucky.
It's really brilliant.
The up-and-coming Parisian group are playing their hometown festival for the first time. And their 70s-inspired summer sound seems to have gone over well. While some of the crowd attempt to cool off, others have gone a different direction. You can even catch a Pokemon or two.
It's horrible. It's the worst day of the year to wear a costume like this, but you just have to. Otherwise, it's impossible to find your friends.
Unsurprisingly, refreshments like ice creams and beers are proving popular with the more sensible members of the audience.
There's a heat wave in Paris this weekend, but it's definitely better than the weather we had last month.
It's our third. We've only been here for 2 hours so far.
Among the artists playing this year, Iggy Pop, Massive Attack, and a band approved by President Barack Obama, Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros. Lead singer Alex Ebert says festivals like Rock on Seine can help bring people closer together.
People just want to feel a sense of love. At the end of the day, that's really all we want. We're just trying to figure out different ways to get there. And if for a moment you can create that sense within the audience and yourself and dissolve those barriers between yourselves, you can feel that relief.
It's the first edition of Paris's premier rock festival since the November terror attacks, in which live music was among the targets. Bands here say events like these are a great opportunity for the city to heal.
You let yourself go through that grieving process, but it's also really healthy and very empowering to then come to the realization that life goes on and festivals will keep happening and that music will still be played in open airs and people will still come and celebrate life, you know?
Security at Rock on Seine was increased by more than a third this year. Those concerns don't seem to have been passed onto the audience. Instead, they're heeding the festival's motto this year, Let's Dance.
Puppa, you're based here in Paris. Do you manage to make the most of the live music, the festivals on offer?
The last show I made, it was at Cabaret Sauvage to my album, to release my album. And now, as I told to Mark, I'm alone to set up my thing, to organize my business. And sometimes it's a little bit difficult, but I'm looking forward.
Okay, it keeps you very busy, I'm sure. Let's get a taste of your music with a short clip. This is Dem a Murderer from the album Sweet and Tough.
Now, there is a long history of reggae music in Africa. Mm-hmm. Is reggae music big in Senegal in particular?
No. Reggae music was born in Jamaica. Everybody know that. But as you know, King Selassie was born in Africa, Ethiopia. And as a Rasta man, we know some about the story. And we try to keep these positive vibes come from Jamaica, and we try to bring it in our country. But in Senegal, reggae music is not a famous music. The people don't really appreciate reggae music, because when we talk about reggae music, they think about ganja, drugs, crimes, you know. And then we try to show them another part of reggae music. It's not about growing dreadlocks, you know, smoking herb all day long. We have something spiritual behind all of this. We try to promote love, because we realize that love, the most of our brothers and sisters don't even have love in their heart.
And you're from Senegal, but you live in Paris now.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to move to the French capital?
First, I'm here thanks to Radio RFI. They bring me in a Conakry for the first time, and I was discovering by RFI, and they helped me to come in Paris. Since that day, I'm here to make my music, because in Africa it's more difficult. Yeah.
Sadly, that's all we've got time for. Puppa, thanks so much for joining us. Your album, Sweet and Tough, is available now. And thanks, Mark, for being with us today. We're finishing off with a collection of Freddie Mercury's solo singles to mark what would have been the late singer's 70th birthday. This is Living on My Own. Remember to check out our website for more arts and culture. You can also keep up with Encore on social media. There's more news coming up after this.